Hi folks, so in this video we're going to start some basic level design. As you can see, I've applied some collision to some of the tiles that I'm going to actually use within this, and I've just neatened it up a bit around the actual coastline here. So to build a actual level, we're going to first of all create a new folder, just like so, and call this level. Then what we're going to do is find a way of storing our lovely paper 2D, there you go, tile map in like so. So if you press tile map, we'll then call this level 1. There we go, and all of a sudden we have the actual area which we can build our level on. Now if you look down the side here, if you are familiar with Photoshop, you'll find quite a few things which might be interesting for you, such as the layer button, which you can hide and show for different layers. You can add new layers above the object like that, and you can then set them down like so, and you can of course delete them out and duplicate them if required. You also have in this lovely setup something useful, which is the actual width. So at the moment this is a 4x4 tile square. If we just change this to 8x8, there you go, we have a nice bigger playing area for the characters. Now our tile width of course is the width of our tiles, so of course earlier we set it to 32x32, so that will be absolutely fine, and all the other information at this moment in time don't overly need to worry about. So what we're going to do is just rename this layer 1 and call this base layer, just like so, and what we're going to do is just paint on the basic tiles that we want. Now we have the lovely world tile set here, so if I just go to tile sheet, what I can do is drag this in and drop this in just like so. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pick some grass and just draw a nice bit of grass around the world. You may have areas which don't look the way you want them to, but if we move the camera, hopefully it will fix that. Ooh, maybe you don't want that. Maybe just have it as plain green for now, and maybe we'll add some water just down the bottom like so. Now what we might choose to do is think about actually what sort of collision are we going to do within our game. So the first layer we might just call this like deco layer, and on here we might just add some standard, rubble, grass, nothing too worrisome, nothing too much which is going to take too much memory up, just some generic little terrain here and there. Then we might want to think about creating and adding a little bit of a shoreline down here. So what we might want to do is add that to the base layer, or we could change that onto the deco layer itself. So if we just add a little bit like this, let's just mix it up with the other terrain so it looks a bit more interesting like so. And then what we might want to do is choose to blend this in on our deco layer to our actual grass. So there we go, maybe drop that in a few times, one of those, maybe one there, and then a couple of these, and then let's press save just here, and all of a sudden folks we have a lovely level map just like this. Now if we go into the actual game world itself, you'll notice it appears here and all the actual layers are sticking out, which is actually a good thing, because in the future what we can think about is how we're using collision, and specific collision for perhaps trees, so our player character can walk behind them and do some interesting things. So what we're going to do is just add a little bit of a wall as well, maybe add another layer and just call this collision layer, and then just add in at the very top a wall with some collision on. So if we just quickly check the tile set, there you go, let's add collision to these two. If I then draw the wall across here, we've now got a nice piece of collidable terrain. So when we actually go to play our game, you notice on a slightly higher level, and that will then be where we're colliding against. And that is how we build a basic level and put it into a 2D engine.